I don't hear you. It's
Oh, hey
no, now
everyone.
it's all good. Now it's all
Hey,
good.
hey
We're
everyone.
back.
Guess what? Now I'm on. Now I'm off of mute. Let me start that again.
Okay, perfect,
it's a
perfect.
it's a good morning. My name is Ryan
Uh,
Kramer. We're live.
Good
um,
morning. Yeah.
yeah. Good morning, Omar. This is Crossover Commerce. I'm Ryan Kramer with Ping Pong Payments. That's a super great way to start this morning. As you can tell, it's morning my time wherever you're located. But yeah, this is Crossover Commerce. We're bringing people on board on this show to kind of talk about anything and everything Amazon. And what we're trying to do today is we're bringing on Omar from Margin Business. Omar, welcome aboard.
Thank
Omar's
you.
been great to Omar's been great to kind of hop on with us just to talk a little bit about Amazon, his business journey, and then kind of the ups and downs that he's seen. Kind of hit from his perspective. Omar, where are you located? Why don't you give a little bit of background from your point of view?
Okay, no problem. Hi. First of all, my name is Omar. I'm the managing director of marginbusiness.com. Yeah, at the moment I'm in France. I'm traveling quite a lot, so I don't have like an office where I actually go to. So I'm working from home. Due to this pandemic, we choose a country we thought will be less effective, less affected. But right now it's not the case. So yeah, France, not uh, uh, not as safe, I think, as it used to be with the crisis, but it's fine. We're in the countryside, we're good, and yeah, we're staying here for a while. Yeah, don't know how long, but yeah, that's
It
that's about the location.
the pandemic's thrown a little bit of a wrench in
Yes,
what.
we never know, So we plan to go back. We have been in Malaysia for 2 years. We plan to go back. We planned afterwards to plan to go to Germany, but we plan, and we don't know really what's happening. So the most important thing is that business is running no matter where. At least we have a connection and we have a computer and we have our staff working, so it's all good. We can do some things. The rest is relative. Where to go and where not to go. We're working from home. We work remotely, and that's the beauty of it, that we can that we just can continue like this.
Yeah, and so Omar, what's kind of your background in terms of like e-commerce play? Because since you're located over in Europe, it's different from the other people I've had on the show. You've had a kind of an extensive background. It
Yeah.
happened, right? Someone asked you learned a little bit about selling online. Someone asked you to start running kind of their storefront. What's kind of that been like on your end for
Yeah,
people?
for me, like I brought up. I grew up in the '90s, early '90s, like late '80s. They were like the beginning of computers and everything. So I kind of when I reached the age of 16, 17, 18, I went into the graphic design. I really liked colors. I was very good with colors. I was very good with logos, putting them everywhere, and I was my passion. And I learned on Flash 4, Flash 5, Flash 4, Flash 5. I don't know if you know these programs. It was the old school
Oh, I
Macromedia,
know.
which is which is now Adobe. And yeah, I learned on these. I think I was quite good. I tried to start a company with that and failed. Miscalculation of taxes, miscalculation of when you're young, you just, money coming in, you just trying to. And then I said, yeah, whatever, it don't work. And I didn't have enough patience. So yeah, that's the background, that's the deep background. But I never went back actually to graphic design, although it was a nice journey, and I learned quite a lot. I learned from really good people, mentors down the way. Some were working at Philips, others had their own graphic design companies. So I guess I took quite a lot with me, which at that point of time I didn't really understand. So after trying to fail the first time with the company, then I said, yeah, I packed my bags and said, okay, whatever. I tried to go to. Sorry, I think I broke up.
Oh no, I got you. I got you.
Okay,
I
now,
got
now,
you.
now I'm back. Now I'm back. Okay, all good,
Sorry.
all good.
Yep. No, I got you.
Okay, so yeah, and then I packed my bags to work for a major company in Paris, and as well to learn French because my that's as well. Then my background comes slowly together. Then where we are going to afterwards to the languages, which margin business is based on as well. We went to I went to Paris to learn French actually because I didn't speak any French at that point. I spoke a little bit of English. I spoke Arabic, and that's about it. Because when I grew up in Germany, the only thing what I learned is German. A bit of my father is Moroccan, so I learned a bit of Arabic as well. But most of the time was German, so my languages were pretty limited, I would say. Yeah, and after Paris, I worked for one of the major e-commerce companies, and it gives me quite of inspiration actually. It was a big portal called ventprivé.com, pretty known around the world right now, one of the biggest at that time as well. And yeah, this gave me a big push. Yeah, but the other career that I had afterwards was again working for another big corporate financial business down in south of Spain in Gibraltar. But from there, I knew this is the jumping board. I should not stay any longer in corporate. And I thought by that point, I have learned enough. So I lived as well then 7 years in Spain. After that point, I was sure now is the good time to start my own business. By that time as well, my wife already started working in the business. My wife is the co-founder of Margin Business. So we're running the business together. Which is very convenient because, as you know, as an entrepreneur, you are working literally all the time. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's not that you literally work all the time on your computer. You live and breathe business, and I cannot imagine to live with a person who's actually not doing the same as me, because it would be very disturbing to live in the same household and have somebody living in another world than you. Because my world is Amazon, my world is business. My world is my internet community, and if my wife would not be in there, or the co-founder would not directly like living with me, and everyone has his task and everyone doing his stuff, that would be I don't know, that would be very disturbing for me, and as well breaking me down, because now I can run at 180, 200 kilometers an hour, but if somebody holding you down, then you're like 50%, and this, I'm really blessed with that. And yeah, this is one of the big things, and this is how we started actually. So I was still working. My wife already shifted over because of our kids, because we really didn't want her to go back to work, and she shifted over. She began really to hustle, stay day and night to try what works not. And we found our way by one of the big Amazon sellers right now, which we are still working with, which was at that time as well very small. And yeah, we grow with him, and suddenly we found ourselves in the Amazon business, and understanding that we actually understand quite a bit of what was going on. Obviously, I don't consider myself that I know everything. I need to learn every day. It's a game which we're in, which we have signed up to, and we need to learn every day. And we don't learn, we stay in the back. It's other people will overtake us. So yeah, this was the main part. I mean, we went on, and yeah, worked with the seller, and suddenly then we had other clients coming in through referrals, and the whole business built up. And then we looked around, and we were over 10 employees, and it was a bit, I mean, it is still a beautiful journey. It's just that you're looking back and say, whoa, yeah, okay, now now we need to do something. And through all of this, my languages actually helped a lot, because then I found out actually that's my passion. Because right now I speak 5 languages. I mean, I would not go and write listings of it, no. As well in English, I would not write a listing. Where I'm really 100% in is German. I can write the listing 100% in German. Okay, so but that's about it. But I can speak obviously 4 other languages. So but not at that point that I would write a listing with it, or would say that I can put some keywords or
Right.
some things in it. So that's what margin business actually is doing, is the keywords optimization. We call it culture specific micro optimization.
Okay. What's more
So
about
yeah,
that? Yeah, yeah. Why don't you dive into?
the
So
later, yeah.
yeah. Before we jump into that, let me reintroduce myself. I think for those who are listening on LinkedIn, we had a little connectivity problem, but I'll reintroduce us real quick.
Okay.
So my name is Ryan Kramer. I work for Ping Pong Payments. We're a global cross-border payments solution. As you know, if you're following us along on social media, thank you very much. We appreciate that. We're live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well. But with me, I have Omar of marginbusiness.com. Omar is located actually in France, but he has quite an extensive background, if you caught him midway through, of lots of trials, tribulations, overcoming, being successful, people asking him, hey, can you do this? I think from our conversations, Omar, a lot of what stands out to me about you is you overcome, I think you're one of the more motivated people and outward motivated people I've heard in a while, especially in a pandemic, which is super interesting to hear. And then obviously staying motivated and keeping motivated, but in business you kind of were presented this opportunity and took that opportunity, even though it's scary. You kind of morphed it into this very successful business in Europe and helping Amazon sellers not just sell in Europe, but also around the world. So kind of like that's kind of where we're at today. So Omar, you started the company with your wife, correct?
Yes, correct.
Awesome. So what's that like, running a business with your significant other?
Yeah, with the family, it's quite funny, because actually we don't sit in the same rooms, because that would be as well different. Because although I'm very motivated and everything, but as you know, with the internet and with all the things which go around you, you're very very fast to be distracted. So I cannot be distracted, because I need about 20 minutes to go into something. And then if in these 20 minutes I cannot go into it, then it takes an hour, and then it's like, okay, whatever. Okay, so I really need to I really need to focus. I'm the type of person, I need to have it not quiet. I think it's a man thing, because women are completely different. Kids can walk around, everything can fall down, and they still be super productive, And this is one of my points, which is a bit negative. I would say a bit negative points, but it's pretty good. But on the other hand, when we're working together, when someone is down or one is not up in the mood today, the other one is up, so you can motivate the other person. So this is, for example, the very positive aspect of actually doing a family business, and as well, your kids get involved, so they come, they watch in the camera what's going on, who is that, can I learn with you? So you have your son sitting and learning with you actually what you're doing, and this is actually, I think it's beautiful. I mean, for you it must be the same, it's a family business, so it don't stop. Even if the camera is off, even if the computer is off, it goes on, because we have to talk about business. We have to, what is up with this client? What is going on here? How we can do this? So it don't stop at the table when we're eating or when we're going to sleep, I know it's not psychologically not the best thing to do, but it's like that. We cannot just close the door and business is closed. No, it's not. It's like that. We have an online business. We are digital entrepreneurs. We take in our stuff around 24 hours. So even when we dream, so yeah, but it's okay. I love it. I love it. It's the best.
I mean, absolutely. And I think working from home has changed perspective, and we can kind of dive into that. And no, as a business owner, I myself kind of transitioned to a different form of business here within the pandemic. I know a lot of business owners, especially that sell online on Amazon or on the marketplace. I've seen two different scopes, right? I've seen a lot of people have to shift in, edit, and kind of like grow within their own capacity online.
Yeah.
In terms of that. And then I've had people who are selling not online. They've shifted to the online space, and they're re-educating, they're re-motivating, they're learning how do I consume, and how do I get my product in front of other people, not just in a retail setting, but in a digital landscape. So I think that's where a lot of the growth is seen on my end.
Yes, exactly.
For people, so Omar, what are you telling your clients? Are most of these people already selling on Amazon, or what's kind of the kind of clientele that you work with, and what's kind of your initial direction that you give them?
Okay, we have two types of people. We have people who want to. We don't have too many people who want to start selling. This comes for me. It comes really rarely that somebody comes and says, "Okay, I want to start selling," because there's a lot of aspects which you have to as well to explain to them if they are ready to be, if they're ready and are they prepared to take losses, for example, as well. Because it's not just like, yeah, okay, come, we open you the Amazon account. Give me your products, I put them on, and that's it. No, we need to, because we have as well responsibility. You know, I mean, some will come with 10K, others will come with 5K, others will come with 100,000. Everything looks different. Some put their whole life on the line. So before we begin anything, we have to tell them, listen, these are the risks, and is your product good? Have you done the research? Is everything fine? So yeah, these are the ones which are just beginning. And if we figure that out, then we go for it, you know. But it can happen that we say no, we cannot do that. We cannot risk it. Okay. Now there's big companies, for example. They come and say, okay, we need, for example, 120 listings per month, and we want to see what you can do about it. Okay. So we do for example, the 120 listings per month. And we check the product. We check the product. Sorry, because most of these big companies have a rolling products. You know, the ones who buy a lot in China, they have the so-called rolling products. They come in, they test, they get out. If they're good, they stay in, and then they build up a base up to 8,000, 10,000 products. With these sellers, we have as well to check. What can be done better? For example, photos, what we do as well. We do photos, we do photo shoot, we do the EBC content. We're checking every aspect of it. The customer service, which is super important. Many of the people don't even think about it. Well, what about customer service? But I'm always saying, if you sell, for example, in Europe, you have to have the 5 customer services, you know, languages in place, and now even 6. You know, when we have Sweden and Netherlands now in. So all these aspects have to put, you know, we have to consider it, and so these are the two type of customers we get. We don't get like the complete newbie who wants to start selling, for example, and don't have a clue what he's doing. We don't have these kind of customers. Although I would as well have no problem to work with them, as long as I can explain and they are open to what we can do with them.
Gotcha. No, that makes complete sense. And Omar, I think we have a question that we had pop up. Maybe they meant to talk to you about it. Do you guys talk to people just on a consulting basis, like refunding? This person asked, do you charge conversation when someone refunds the same transaction? I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but. So what type of businesses are you guys consulting with, like people on one-off basis, or are you kind of is it more of a, you know, if they have a simple question about selling on Amazon, or do you kind of have to work with them on a full scale and kind of work up with them on a holistic kind of side of things?
What we do is, for example, we give a free call. They can call us. We tell them, listen, whatever question they have, we reply to them, what we can do with them, or what they want to do. When it's normally what we like is we like to have not the full thing, but we like to work on long term, because what people need to understand, or most of the sellers understand that already, but there are still some who don't understand it. That listing, for example, you do it one time, it's not enough. You know, you have to follow up on it, and that's what we do as well. So we follow up on the listing. We have a package as well, which after the main listing was done, we follow up on the keywords, we check out the markets, we check out the competitors, because now with all the competitors from China, from all the other countries, one does a mistake, is out, for example. Then you have another one coming in, then the main guy is gone as well. Then this seller we're working with move up to the first position. So it's a constant change, and yeah, this is yeah.
No, I mean that makes sense. And if that person was asking, actually about ping pong, we do. If you're having a question about money transactions and whatnot, I'll give a quick shout out to my customer service team here at Ping Pong. Feel free to reach out to us on any form of communication. We'll display our contact information here at the bottom later on in the show, or just leave a comment in our section. We'll reach out to you personally, and we'll make sure that we're helping and assisting you or pointing you in the right direction. This show is all about pointing people in the right direction too. It's not a biases in terms of, hey, you can only work with these solutions or you can only work with these, products. This is something that we want to educate people on, giving them perspective on how to think further about their business and how to grow that mindset even further. So with that being said, I know, Omar, you're talking about kind of working in a pandemic era. I kind of wanted to jump back into, your motivational tips for e-commerce entrepreneurs. What are you telling people on a day-to-day basis on trying to get into a game, try to sustain their own business? You've kind of gone through multiple different facets, right? You've been successful. You haven't been successful. That's kind of the entrepreneur journey to a T, right? So what's kind of that thing that motivates you, and what do you like sharing with other aspiring future business owners or people who are just struggling right now? What are those things that you typically share with them?
Okay, so there is two different approaches. Now we have the pandemic side, and we have the normal life, what we call normal life, which is
let's talk normal first, so we can pretend that we're in a normal world right now.
Okay.
And then we'll jump into pandemic.
So yeah, for example, every time I've failed before, obviously I was not happy, and there was plenty of things as well broke apart at the same time. But I always said, okay, let's do it again, and let's do it again, and let's do it again. Until the last point, I was so eager to do it. I have been working in my job for 8 hours. Obviously, gave the best that I could over there. I was flying around the world, meeting clients, and at the same time, at night in the hotel, I worked on my other business. I worked on margin business, which at this time didn't have a name, margin business. We had only a direction. We had a few translations here and there. We had an account outside of Amazon, which was really big at that time. And we got this client through referral as well. I was working as well 6 hours in that on my company, which was at that time still a side hustle, and it motivated me that I knew if I continue like this every day, I will be able from now in 6 months or 9 months to do it. So I slept like 2-3 hours, went back to work, did the same again for about 6 or 7 months. And then I could finally say on the 31st of December 2013, I quit. So I quit from there. And this is the message in this story is that it's very important, consistency. What I want to tell everyone that's want to start a business or has a business is consistency. When you're one day down or one day up or one day you just don't want anymore, consistency. Just get up and be consistent about what you do. Even if it's only 1 or 2 hours, be consistent. Same as for the sports. I'm a very sportive person. I think that's how it clicked as well for me. Always consistency. Always, even if you even if you just do a little bit of jump ups or a little bit of push ups, that's already good. You've done something. It's good for and this is my motivation. I go on like this every day. Something needs to be done. Either in my business, in my work, every day something has to be done.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think just creating that continuity and that consistency, you
Exactly.
become habitual, you become better every single day. I think that's great advice for all of us to, just keep at top of mind. So when you're in a pandemic, what's kind of changed for you? I know, like, obviously you get stuck more inside. Health becomes an issue, worrying about more if your children are going back to school, if, all these different outside factors that we didn't normally have to worry about. What's kind of changed for you? What's changed in business? How do you staying positive during all of this?
Yeah, this was something special. I had to sit down actually, but my family as well, because the first days, actually at this time we were in Morocco. We had been out in Spain. We came back. I think it was the 12th of March. And behind us, when we went back into Morocco with the car, they closed the doors behind us. Okay, so it was literally that's it. Borders are closed. Yeah.
Hmm.
When we got home at that point, we said, okay, now something is beginning where we haven't calculated, and we knew that it's going to be at least for 6 months. So we sat down and planned the next 6 months. Planned food, planned with a plan. I mean, a real plan on the wall. We had a plan on the wall for everything, a single one of us, what we're going to do. And because we all together, obviously, we could do everything together. We get up at 6, we have breakfast at 7, we work. Everyone does his work from home as well. The children does the homeschooling. At 12, we go out. I mean, we had a little. It was a big space where we could go out because we were not allowed to go out of the house. So we had on top of the house, we had a space of 200 square meter where we can just walk around. So we had there as well 2 hours. I've done sports for that time as well. A little bit of reflecting, playing. Went back down. All day was structured. So for me, this is how I went through the pandemic, and it was about a good I think March was. We left on the 10th of August, and although the pandemic was not any, I mean, the quarantine was lifted, it was
Hmm.
still very very strict. So
Right.
we still didn't go out. And yeah, the message here is again, when something is very inconvenient or something is very hard on you or on your family, and the business is as well involved, everything, your mindset, everything, a real plan, a structure for every day is very very important, and every day, not only one day or 2 day. It needs to be every day consistent, and you will see how your body and your mind will adapt to it. Yeah, this is how I managed to do it, and I'm the thing is, it's kind of hard because I'm still doing it, because
Right.
it went
It hasn't gone away.
it went in my system that much that I still do exactly the same schedule right now without having a schedule. Actually, it's yeah, it's because it continues again, because we cannot go like we want to go out. We cannot. It's still a little bit like it, but anyway, that's how we do it, and that's how I would everyone who is facing such struggles or such yeah, in the pandemic, because everyone had it, and this is just one. This is just my way of trying to keep up with the workload and everything, because actually you get even more productive in such a pandemic, because you learn things about you didn't know before. You can concentrate more on your business as you could before. You can improve things because for us the first months a few businesses broke away because of China. China was closed, so no containers anymore coming in. So for us was as well a little blockage, but it was not too bad. But still we could improve. For example, our website. We have improved our skills. We learned new things. We have really done this time of the pandemic. We have really done it, turned it positive, and really did the best out of it. And I'm really happy that, not happy that it happened, but
Right.
it's a good reminder, and wake up call for everyone, that not only in these times we should do it. We should always try to improve ourselves, because it always can get worse.
Right. I think you touched on a lot of good points there. I think a lot of people, look at the negative, and I to myself, I find a lot of negative. It's a scary thing that's unknown, and I think that's the one thing is
Yes.
there's just so much unknown. I think in Amazon world, you kind of thrive on almost a little bit more uncertainty because taking risk is really difficult to do, not knowing what that predictive, what's going to happen. You know, a lot of people rely on data, right? I think that's the number one key. And if you can't tie what's going on right now to actual data, I think that's what makes a lot of people nervous and, you know, hectic on their day-to-day lives. I myself, I know I do that personally, but you bring up a couple good points in terms of, hey, let's reshift our focus, even though this is going on, let's do the right thing. But then also let's take this opportunity as a way to get better in other facets of our life, right?
Exactly.
Do you find yourself just in business, or you might have touched on it a little bit earlier, has family become stronger in support? Like, I know for a fact, like, my parents are checking and they're saying, hey, how are you guys staying safe? What's going on with you guys? How's school doing? Like, I think there's more interaction with family, friends. What's that been like for you where you're located?
Yeah, it's true. You know, it's you have a lot more contacts with people you would not have contact with actually, because everyone stays home, everyone is on the cams, everyone is trying to do some, to find some social interaction. But for us, on the other hand, we are family, so the same day goes on. Although some people might struggle because they're alone, it's very hard to be alone in that time. But like I said, with this plan that I said, it should be not a problem. We have, because we were all together, we haven't felt that much. I mean, as you said, you communicate with the family a lot more. You communicate, you stay as well a lot more because you're all together in one house all the time. For us, it was not that big difference because we always were living like that, because as digital entrepreneurs and we always traveling together, we do everything together. It's normally it was just the extreme. It was very extreme that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. What's been your have you let me take it back. I always try to ask a couple different questions. What's kind of your how do you think that business in the e-commerce world will continue to change because of all this?
Okay. Actually, in the beginning, I didn't even think that it would have such a big impact on everything, because you only focused on the numbers, what's going on here, what's going on there. So actually, they take me as well. I let myself suck a little bit into this news feed and everything, but what I normally don't do, So by doing this, I really forgot that actually now everyone is at home. Everyone will go crazy and just click, buy. And this is exactly what happened. We went from, I think, 25, the numbers were, I think, 25 years. We made a jump of 25 years in 3 months in e-commerce in general.
Right.
I think
yep.
That's about the number. And like I said, I really didn't expect that, but in the middle, then I knew what was going on. So yeah, this is as well, and this goes for the future as well. We will go straight into. My predictions are that this is just a baby, Amazon and all these other little stores, the German store, Real.de, you have Cdiscount, you have in all these countries. It's like a little baby, and from now in 10, 20 years, we will see the real outcome. Unfortunately, I believe this is only one pandemic, and there will others will come because of we are traveling everyone traveling, everyone is having different bacteria, different viruses are going on. So I think that in 10, 20 years, it will be so huge that almost everything will only run through e-commerce, and we will. Part of having some malls around the world, we will not have these small stores, brick and mortar stores anymore. These are my predictions. So it will really go into what is now very small. We look at a huge scale, and companies like yours, like Ping Pong, is just we'll look at it and just grow with this whole thing to a monster giant. This is yeah. These are my
That's
predictions.
what that's what we're hoping. And like as Omar's probably talking about, when I can add on there too. I think what a lot of people have said recently is that it sped up that process that was inevitably coming, whether it was good or a bad thing. I think a lot of people have just seen the ease of e-commerce and how we've been kind of conditioned, if you will. I know here in the United States, I'm located in Indianapolis, Indiana, which is in the Midwest.
Okay.
We even where we're located, which is not big in terms of population. We are still conditioned for next day shipping. We're still conditioned for 2 hour shipping because we have a major metropolitan city where I'm currently located. I'm not sure in France. I'm assuming in France that same expectation is made. I think it's very difficult that once you introduce that concept to people, they get that taste in their mouth. Like, hey, I don't have to put on normal clothes and go outside. I don't have to get in my car. If I do have a car, I don't have to travel to a location. I don't have to sift through things with other people. I can just look at it online, trust that I know it's going to be a good product because Amazon does all of its kind of front end work. And if it's not a good product, then their ratings and reviews are there, right?
Send it back,
Yeah, or send it back. Exactly. And people are conditioned to get it either instantaneously and leave a review so that it helps other people further the business. And in retail, you kind of have to like reach out to people. You have to constantly say like, hey, where's this located? I can't find this myself, or it's not in stock. All these things are real life applications. Even going to a grocery store, if you're looking for something, you just can't get it. In e-commerce, you'll know if it's in stock. If you wasted a trip, it's wasting time, which I think is the number one commodity.
Very good. Yeah.
Right. So, I guess what's the thing that you miss most? I think we talked about a little bit about interaction with other people. Were you a big networker before the pandemic? Were you constantly at conferences and traveling around?
No, not really. This
No.
is as well one point. No. We I never been to conferences.
Okay.
I met my clients, and that's about it. I everything what I'm doing is online, and there is a reason for it.
Sure.
The reason is like one and a half years ago, when we looked around, and we suddenly had 12 employees and everything was really growing. We said, okay, we don't do anything for anyone else. I mean, we're only sitting here and making our business work, and that's it. So, and there we realized we are actually not on the outside, which for us is very important. Because obviously there is a community and we can talk with each other, even with competitors. I don't see them as competitors. And what I like is, to interact with everyone, to understand what they are doing, how they do it. We can really, the communication part. And this is what we actually did for the last 1.5 year, 1.5 year to reach out to others. To give a little bit back to the communities, to do some videos, some live streaming right now. We're like with you, to give back and to help others as well, which are in the same situations as us. Because as digital entrepreneurs, we are all in the same boat. So to give to others and to receive as well some good advices. It's very important, and as well to share what we know about the industry. Maybe we didn't get something which others got, and I can take from them and understand a little bit more. And this often happens to me, that I just realize, whoa, okay, these people, they know a lot more than me, so I need to listen to them and need to understand what they're actually doing. So this is what we did in the last 1.5 years, and that's why we didn't go to any. To any congress or something. So we were not the big travelers for work. We were traveling more for us. I mean, because we have changed countries a lot. Our locations of companies are in 2 different continents. And as well, that's why we're traveling as well a lot. So.
Well, that's awesome. So I guess before we end today, we have a lot of people in the United States who are looking to expand internationally. They're looking to sell, whether they're selling in the United States or they're just selling in their domestic, marketplace, and they're trying to expand internationally. What do you typically tell your customers? Where's a good first place to start? Is it just education in that market? Is it translating your goods and products? What's kind of that thing that March in Business really, preps people to start thinking about before they make that initial jump internationally?
Okay, what we normally advise, especially for Americans, because the country is so big. I think it's 250 million, about 250 million people when I checked last time. It's so big as Europe in total, so they are not really the sales velocity is not the same as in the US, obviously, because it's a lot smaller. So Europe has like 32 billion turnaround per year in Amazon alone, the whole 26 countries together, and versus the US has over 280 billion in 2019. So it's quite a big jump. So what we first try to explain to them is that they definitely need to sell in all countries. They should as well need their understand their customers. When we see their products, for example, from because sometimes American customers, a lot of times, American customers don't like the same as European customers, or European customers don't like the same as American customers. Right. Same as, so we try to explain to them, listen, if you go to this market, you need to consider a few things. First of all, the culture, the language, and that's why we do the micro optimization, the culture specific micro optimization, which is in one word, we have our staff in the relevant countries taking care of the language, so they know exactly the culture of the country, the words that are used in Amazon to search for these items. Obviously, we have Helium 10 software for that, so thanks Helium 10 for that as well.
Shout out to our friends at Helium 10. That's right.
Exactly. Because without this tool, it would be we did it before without, it was quite hard. You need to take 5 listings and then check what they have, and it's pretty hard. So with this tool, it's really good, straightforward. We can see exactly what's going on, if this is a good item to go for. As well, the keywords, obviously, we can filter the keywords out. Then we cross-reference with the people we have working with us to check the exact words that are being used in Amazon. And like this, we bring the listing out little by little, and we explain this actually to the clients from outside who wants to sell in the European Union, that they don't do the mistake to think, just take my listings and let Amazon Google translate it, or to just put the English listing on it, because obviously they will sell, but they won't reach their peak. So this is the main things what we explain to the ones who wants to migrate into the European Union. There is a lot more things to consider, but it's not too bad. And some people are scared because, first of all, of the language, second of all, of the whole tax issues going on at the moment in Amazon, right. And in Europe especially, because they all the countries are now not really in line with each other. So one is asking this, one is asking that. We kind of explain this, and in the end they find out, it's not so scary at all, and there is still money to make, because with these tools we can as well estimate how much they would make if we do a good approach to the product, or if you do the good approach for selling in the country, and if there is as well enough customers, obviously, to buy their product.
Right. Well, I mean, there's just a lot to dive in there, and I know we didn't get didn't get too much.
Scratch the surface,
Yeah, we scratched the surface. Well, I mean, I think that kind of leads to where we can obviously, I think, put a pin in today. But we'd love to have you back and talking about like kind of the struggles, up and downs,
really,
right? Ups and downs of European, selling in the marketplace over in Europe. It's a whole different conversation what we had today, but But yeah, Omar, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we had some
Thank you
we
for
had some
inviting me.
struggles jumping on early with our audio and video. Thank you everyone. Again, my name is Ryan Kramer. I work for Ping Pong Payments. Omar runs the business Margin Business. Check out their website for more information if you're a European seller looking to come into the United States or vice versa. They will be able to touch on how you can best do that. They will consult with you. They've been successful in those spaces. Omar, is there another way that they can reach out to you and your wife or your team?
Yeah, it's through the website, or it's very easy. Omar at marginbusiness.com. It's Omar at marginbusiness.com. Very easy.
Easy enough. And you won't find him anywhere else because obviously he's there at home with his wife, so he can consult with the other half of the business.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. We always, that's the good thing, if you don't have to go to office location, you just can drop an email and, maybe even to meet with the customers, because this was as well one of the main points. We came back into Europe
Right.
because we have been in Malaysia for a while. So we came back into Europe because of that, because we needed to see a few customers, and now we're a little bit stuck because thanks of the pandemic, but it's okay. We make the best out of it. All good, all good.
I love your positivity, and like I said before, I know when we were on our call before this, just stay safe out there, everyone. Make sure you're doing the right thing. Keep doing the best to build yourself and build your business at the same time. I know it's difficult, but I think one thing I'm going to take away from this conversation is just stay positive. Stay look for best ways to grow, whether it's in your business or in yourself, and I think that will just propel us as a society forward. So, Omar, thank you so much for joining Crossover Commerce.
Thank you for having me,
Yeah,
Ryan.
I'm Ryan Kramer. I'm with Ping Pong Payments. This is our show, Crossover Commerce. We'll catch you next time, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.